Welcome back to the How to Be a Redhead podcast. Today we're diving into a mix of debates, myths, and social perceptions about red hair.
We'll tackle questions like, is there an age when it's too old to keep rocking red hair? Is red really as high maintenance as everyone says? And what does psychology say about how people perceive hair color, especially the color red? We'll be sharing themes from Reddit conversations, our own experiences, and some insights from the community. So whether you're dyeing your first streak of red or wondering if it's worth it to keep it up later in life, this episode is for you. So if you're natural or by choice, it's all for you. So let's get right into it.
So, our first topic conversation, it's titled How Old is Too Old to Keep Red Hair? Someone wrote, quote, I'm 64. Red hair has always been a super intrinsic part of my identity. Now my hair has faded into a light reddish yellow color with white streaks around my face. Would it look stupid slash cartoonish to try and dye my hair to be back more reddish? I don't think I'd want permanent type dye, but maybe some color deposit type temporary color that would allow for lots of variation. I'm fighting cancer and have enough other stresses, etc., that looking in the mirror is just one thing too many. I hate it when I see folks I haven't seen in a while say, quote, your hair has faded so much. It used to be so pretty, end quote. I guess folks run their mouths without thinking first. Thanks, end
Of
quote,
course,
the person says.
no one thinks
So,
before speaking.
yeah. So, it's a topic I'm sure a lot of redheads have asked themselves, maybe who have matured in age, on wondering if age limits the appropriateness of red hair. So, in
Mm,
the comment section, reading through it, it's super interesting. Many people argue that there's no limit, that confidence and personal style matter more. Some reflect, which we'll get into, Adrian and I, younger people getting more attention and older redheads are celebrated for keeping their hair color.
mm,
What the community, in all the comment sections, the comments that we read say hair color's all about self-expression no matter the age. And
mm-hmm.
I have to agree, Adrian. I
Yeah.
think you would, right? That red hair doesn't expire. It's a part of us. It's our identity. But again, I think it's a question that once you start either fading into a brown, maybe brassy, or going the other direction, like this person shared, more of the white in your hair and looking in the mirror and being like, oh my gosh, my hair's not the same red. And then you don't want to lose that identity. But I really
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
believe, do you, whatever you choose, I think you'll get the redheads that are embracing the gray or the white, and you're gonna get the redheads who are dyeing it no matter what. Adrian, I know we talked about this.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
dyeing
that
mine to the end.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I'm dying it to the end. I just can't imagine not being like so vibrantly red. It's just like so a part of us. But I have to say that I do feel like society is changing. Like the other day, I was looking at an interview, and I think it's the same for like how a lot of people feel like when you hit a certain age, you have to go short. Like you have to cut your hair
I
short.
was just thinking about this the other day.
And they were saying
Yeah.
that Demi Moore is kind of making it so that a lot of celebrities are like, wait, I don't have to do that because she still has hair down to her waist and she looks so good. And I
Yeah.
remember growing up and our mom has like a pixie haircut, like Kris Jenner, right? Like that's
Yeah.
like our mom has
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
the same haircut since like she was born.
Yeah.
So mom has always said, like, you get to an age, you need to cut your hair, you need to have short hair. And
I remember
then
her saying that growing up.
I've always loved having long hair. And so I used to think to myself, wow, like there's going to come an age where I need to cut it. And then, but I don't want to cut it. You know what I mean? But I'm like, God, do you have to like, and I feel like that's the same thing that people feel when they're going red. Like, or if, let's just say if I go white and then I have to dye it red, like, is it appropriate? I think everyone's like wondering about this appropriateness. And like, I think that that's becoming like old school. Like I think that people, if you can rock it and own it, like you should do it. And I think about my mother-in-law a lot because she had very, very vibrant red hair when she was younger and then decided to kind of just let it become strawberry blonde, and now she just like upholds the strawberry blonde, but she does reflect back on being
Mm.
younger, and she's like, oh wow, it used to be so vibrantly red. So I think she could totally go back to her normal color and bring a picture. A lot of people would just bring a picture into their,
Yeah,
into their salon. But I think that anyone can do it. I really do. Like if
I
you rock
agree.
it, do it.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking the other day, I was looking in the mirror thinking to myself, should I cut my hair? And maybe our team member Lily just recently cut her hair. So I think talking about it on team meetings and it looks so great. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll cut mine, for the winter time. And then I thought, no, I really love my long hair. And then a thought came into my head on, oh my God, there's going to be a time when I think I have to go short because of my age. But I think, again, I think society's like, okay, you've hit an age, you have to go short. But I realize I'm just going to get a trim because
I
I
think it
love,
just really comes down to like what looks best.
and
Like
everyone's hair texture is so different. Like I could
some people
never,
look better with short hair.
like we have
Some people look
naturally
better
curly
with
hair because
right,
so like
right.
I couldn't imagine having super straight, super short hair and then it just being like one poofy mess. I
Yeah.
like, it's nice when our hair is long and then it's like naturally curly because it's easier to
Yeah.
maintain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think most people in the comment section for this conversation have a do you mentality, and it's totally true. Like just do whatever makes you feel comfortable.
And I think like there's something beautiful about being outside of the box. Like
Mm,
if I happen to see this person who wrote this and they were 64 years old and they happened to like go get a really great dye job of like what their hair used to look like when they were 20, and they walked into a restaurant and they just looked so perfect, people would be complimenting her left, right, and center if she
yeah.
rocked that. If she was like, yeah, like and it really did look so good. Obviously, there's a lot of variables that go into this. You have to make sure you have the right hairstylist, the right hair colorist, right? Like the right salon,
And you
the
have to be
person,
okay with the maintenance,
and the money. This
I
is going to
think that
be
it is
expensive.
it's kind of like short hair. You do have to get it cut. I think every
Yeah.
3 to 5 weeks is what I've learned. So you have to
Mom
be
is
okay with
always getting a haircut. Like I swear to God, I feel like I turn around and she's like, I'm heading to go get a haircut. I'm like, again?
Yeah, see, we're used to, I mean, you go way, I go every 4 months or so, and that's great for me. 3 times a year, that's all I
Yeah.
need to see my hairstylist. But yeah, you have to be okay with all that stuff. What do you think about some people saying treating redheads differently with age? Like, do you find that comments about your red hair tend to be positive or awkward these days as we've aged? I think it's common when you're younger to be like, "Oh my god, your hair looks so cute. You're such a cute little redhead." I'm sure we got that when we were little. And then as we age, that's kind of weird if someone says
Yeah.
that to us. But just oh my god, I was just at the store the other day picking up some stuff and I was asking this worker where something was. And he was in his, he was older, so I don't think he was hitting on me. But
Okay.
no, he wasn't. But he showed me and then he looked at me and goes, I have to tell you, your hair is absolutely beautiful. That's what he said to me. But he was like a grandfather.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I wasn't creeped out by it. Even afterwards, Brian was like, we got in the car and I told him what the guy said. And he was like, okay, well, I think if he was in his 30s or
Yeah.
40s, Brian would, which is interesting,
Yeah.
Brian would
Yeah.
have been like, what? But this guy was definitely in his 70s and the way he said it was so nice.
That's really, really kind, right?
Yeah, or in New York City, do you remember months ago that girl stopped you on the street?
Yeah.
See, that didn't, it's also interesting if it's from
A woman or a man or like who
the
is from.
same, like if
Yeah.
a guy has said that to you, Adrian, would you have been creeped out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Cause it's like, it doesn't, cause from a woman's perspective, like when another woman says that to you, it's a compliment. But if another guy says that to you, it depends on the age as well, like your story.
And I
But
think it's
it could be,
culturally. Remember
yeah.
we talked about people in
Yeah.
like Scotland
Yeah.
don't really know how to take compliments. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
US, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, we interviewed someone on the podcast who was Scottish, and that's what she told us, that they don't know how to take compliments and that Americans are like, thanks so much. Like, thanks. Yeah, it does look great. But yes, the other day I was getting a blowout at the hair salon, and this girl came up to my hairstylist because I guess it's her hairstylist, and she was like, that's the color I want.
Oh my God.
And my
That probably
hairstylist is so funny. She's like so New York. She turns around. She's like, "Well, this is natural, and we really can't do that." And it was like so blunt. And she's like, "Oh, it is." Wow. She's like, "That's like the color of fall. Like your hair is the color of fall." I'm like, "Well, this is like my hair color all year long." But that
yeah.
was so nice. That was so nice, especially since like honestly, our grandmother was a natural redhead. She went white at like 27.
Yeah, and then
Our
Grammy,
dad our dad went white, like, I only remember him with white hair our whole life.
yeah, and then Grammy went strawberry blonde.
Yeah, but I just always assumed, like, I'm 2 years away from being 40, I just assumed by the time I got this age that my hair was gonna be, like, all white, and then it's not. So I'm just, like, soaking up the time I do have with it, I really am, because I'm like, I see little whites coming in, and I'm like, "Oh my god, there is gonna be some day that it's just all white." But
Are
then I
you gonna
have
go to the
faith.
salon?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I thought that that would already be happening to me at this age, so I'm,
Yeah,
like, really happy. But then, you see, like, our cousins, I know that they don't have red hair, but, like, Stacy and Shelly, like, they don't dye their hair, and, like,
yeah,
Stacy doesn't have any whites. So I don't
I
know,
know.
like, I really think you just don't know.
Everyone's
So
so different, but yes, if you are like the person that brought up going if your hair's fading, going white, do
mhm.
whatever makes you feel comfortable. Don't, society, don't listen to society. There's so many, I
Like,
think
seriously sit with your stylist and be like, "What will look good on me?" Like, I think that's a really good suggestion. Like, a lot of people
yeah,
make comments about, like, my large forehead or something on social media, which I always love to see. And when I'm sitting down with my hairstylist, like, all the time, I'm like, "Do you think I should do bangs? Because 'Cause I've done bangs a million times in my life. Do you think I should do bangs?" And he's like, "No. You look great with just, like, a little bit of face framing and this and this and this," and he tells me every time, right? But it's just so funny that, like, he gives me such a blunt reaction that I appreciate it. So I think that
yeah,
you really need to find someone who's gonna sit down with you and be like, "This is what looks good for your face frame, your hair coloring, like, your face coloring, like, what clothes you love to wear, what colors make you pop." Like, it's a whole situation.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I agree. I think yeah, I can't picture my hair turning white. I can't. I don't have many
No.
white. I hardly have any.
I know,
I'm
you're
waiting for the
lucky
stress of my kids to
to
creep
make
up
it all
to
white.
me. Yes. Our next topic's super interesting. It's about red hair maintenance myths versus reality.
Mm,
So super interesting. This topic's titled Is Red as Hard as Everyone Makes It Out to Be? This person wrote, quote, I'm trying to decide right now between green and red. Everyone says so this person's dyeing their hair, either green or red. Everyone says that red bleeds everywhere, but doesn't all dye. I've also been told it's the hardest to cover up. But if I'm using a semi permanent anyway, then won't it all fade out? I'm also a lifeguard and my suit is red, so the bleeding wouldn't affect that too bad. But I wonder how the chlorine in the pool will affect the red. I know chlorine can dye blonde hair green, so I didn't know what it do to the dye. I've also never done red before. But I've done blue that faded to green and I love the green on me. However,
hmm.
I don't want the green hair to clash with the red suit for work and look Christmassy. So I'm using whether the red is as high maintenance as everyone seems to say to make my decision. Any input would be useful. Their hair color, then they go on to say that their hair color is actually a light brown, and then they end it with talking about how they used to bleach their hair. So this topic's really interesting. It kind of goes into the topic of
Mm.
us starting off this podcast. If you are thinking about dyeing your hair, so if you're listening right now, your hair has faded, or maybe you're listening, tuning in, and you're not a redhead and you want to go red,
Yeah.
things to keep in mind too that people shared in the comment section. Red hair fades faster than any shades, so proper care to keep it vibrant. So root touch ups, obviously, like if you're finding that the roots are coming out, there's root touch ups out there. But keeping in mind all the points that people mention, I love some of the tips in the comment sections, like specialized shampoos, avoiding harsh washes, and understanding your hair type. But keeping in mind, if you're listening right now, red hair is high maintenance. It does fade super fast. our Finely Glossy shampoo, little product plug-in,
Yeah.
is so it's made to help hydrate and strengthen your hair. We are working on expanding our hair care line, which we're really excited about. But yeah, red hair fades. We have a team member, Felicia, who recently shared on TikTok that she provided her tips. She dyes her hair red. She looks so great with red hair, right, Adrienne?
Really good.
So she shares some of her tips that she's learned throughout her process. And I think she's mentioned too that it does fade, and she's going for root touch-ups with her to her hairstylist. So you have to be okay with that maintenance.
And also, I think what you have to understand is that it really is a form of chemistry when you go in to get your hair dyed.
Mm,
And this is from, I'm a natural redhead. I've never dyed my hair, but we've interviewed so many people who are hairstylists. We've done countless articles on how to be a redhead.com. We've been immersed in this redhead beauty business for 15 years. So we really do know a lot. And when you go in to get your hair dyed, they make the formula right there. Like you see them mixing it, right?
yeah,
Even though they might use the exact same formula the next time you come in, your red is never going to be the exact same from
it's going to
time to
look a
time to
little
time to
different.
time. It's going to always be a little different. The better your hair colorist is, the more it's going to seem very natural, but then you're also putting color on top of color, right? Like when you
Yeah,
go.
which can
So,
be drying.
yeah. So it is a process because like that first red that you get, it may not be that same red like the fifth time that you do it. And so that's why home maintenance and finding a shampoo like Finely Glossy or the future products we're going to come out with, like a color depositing shampoo, et cetera, are very, very important because what you do at home in terms of stripping the color or enhancing the color or taking care of the hair and the health will keep the color looking good.
Yeah. And I think it's keeping in mind too your lifestyle. I remember Felicia was saying, like, if you have white pillowcases, maybe swap that out
Mm,
for something darker because it will bleed the color. If you wear baseball, maybe you're outside doing certain activities, a white baseball hat probably isn't the best option.
white towels.
Yeah, white t-shirts. So you really have to think. But I love, I love going on TikTok, for example, and seeing maybe it's influencers or seeing on our For You page, like people who are going red.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
red
Yeah.
hair always trends during the fall season.
Mhm.
But it's always exciting to see. But I feel like I see the videos where people are sharing, oh my God, I didn't realize how hard it is to maintain the color. When I used to dye my hair platinum blonde when I was little, do you remember, Adrian? I'd be like, why is the red
It
coming
because it
through?
was so, like, intense right at the root for you.
Yeah, and the hairstyle, they would say, we can only get the bleach so close to your hair. And I just wanted them to get it like right at my actual root.
For anyone who's just, like, learning about this, Stephanie dyed her hair blonde, bleach blonde for 7 years.
Starting in the 4th grade, I don't know why,
She was
mom.
doing the opposite of what we're talking about. She was
Yeah,
dyeing red hair.
I was dyeing red hair, correct. Yeah, I was dyeing red hair, but I remember a hairstylist was also saying red hair is so stubborn. So if you're also,
Mm,
yeah, looking on dyeing your hair, that's a whole different topic.
yeah,
But yeah, I also think 4th grade was so young to get
to do
highlights. I
it.
don't know what age.
Maybe you got it out of your system early.
Yeah, I think mom just brought me to the Paul Mitchell school. I'll never forget. It
Dad
was
was
like,
devastated. Remember, he always loved your natural red hair. He did not want you to dye it.
no, he didn't. I know, but he let me go through my phase. It wasn't
Yeah,
you
yeah.
I think they were good about that. But yeah, just keep in mind that if you're looking to go red, there's so many different shades. So, back to kind of our first topic on this episode, sit down with a hairstylist, hair colorist, because complexion matters, your eye color, the colors you wear in your wardrobe,
Oh my
maybe the
God, there's so many
season.
different shades of red hair,
So many different
like
shades.
thousands of shades.
Yeah. So, but have fun with it. And our last topic during this episode is super interesting. It's about social psychology and how society perceives red hair versus other colors.
Mm,
So, this topic, it's titled Social Psychology Behind Hair Colors. How do people treat you differently throughout the different hair colors you've had? So this person's sharing that they recently changed their hair color from a bright red to a platinum ashy blonde. It's the first time in this person's life that they have gone blonde, and they noticed that the way people treat them has changed. They seem to be more friendly, strike
Hmm.
up conversations, more interested in being helpful. And then they mention being a redhead, it was totally different. So we wanted to share, kind of talk about this topic because we felt like it related to our previous two Reddit topics during this episode. But what we're taking from the comment section, and I'll have to agree, redheads are often seen as bold, fiery, attention grabbing.
Mm.
Perceptions can be flattering, frustrating, or both. Hair color really influences your first impressions, your social assumptions, and even dating experiences.
Mm.
So I feel like I've heard that, yeah, maybe when you're blonde, you get more approached. Redheads, I think people think fiery, which when we share that, like sometimes on social, people don't like to be called fiery. Do you, Adrian?
I don't mind it. I think we talked about this before, but I am fiery. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
yeah,
are.
whatever.
You
Like I
are.
am. I am. But I don't feel like I've really been typecasted like that before. I don't think so. I mean, I think sometimes people may say something. I've noticed when I've been in countries where like red hair is so abnormal that I get a lot of stares,
Mm.
whereas when you travel to other places, like even within the United States, I think red hair is more common than we think it is. Like there are just like you always see a redhead somewhere. I'm like, oh, how to be a redhead? Here's a hey redhead card, or like. So I don't know. I think that it's really interesting. I do believe though, if I was to wear a wig and put on blonde and put on a brunette, I bet it would be different. I've never done it, but I bet it would be different.
Bet it would. So some people in the comment section, so they shared how being blonde made them more approachable. Someone shared that brown hair made them blend in, while red hair sparked questions and more social outreach. What I
Mm,
found really interesting is the dating aspect. So, well, I guess before we talk about that, some other people say they felt less approachable having red hair. They felt people maybe feel intimidated
intimidated.
or that the
Okay.
person's standoffish. Other people said they were approached like crazy with brighter red hair. I found really interesting the dating thing. Some people were saying being blonde, young men approach them. Being a redhead, older men approach them.
Well, do you remember the Sex and the City episode where Miranda does like that flash dating where you like sit down and like someone comes
Yes.
and sits down and someone comes and sit down? Now, obviously she's a redhead in the show, right? This is like the
Yeah.
original series.
Yeah.
But she was finding that it had nothing to do with her red hair, I don't think, but she was also a redhead and then she's also a powerful lawyer. And like
Right.
no one liked that she was a lawyer. But the minute she lied and switched up her career and said that she was a flight attendant,
They,
they loved her.
that's so
So,
interesting.
I mean, I really think it depends on the crowd and like who you're actually attracting.
Yeah.
But I do think that some people have a type, unfortunately. And sometimes, if you're specifically talking about dating, some people really do prefer blonde, some people do prefer brunettes, but it's hard. I do think that people get treated differently. I actually have a question for you, Steph. I've never asked you this before.
Oh gosh.
Obviously, you went blonde when you were younger because you wanted to fit in, right? So you dyed your
Yeah.
hair blonde from natural red to fit in. Do you think that worked? Like, do you think that you actually did fit in more as a blonde in those like really delicate years, like from fourth grade until freshman year of college, you were blonde? Do you think that it helped you fit in? Because obviously, you and I are different personalities and we did have completely different experiences. But I don't think it's because of hair color. I mean, we are different people, but what are you happy that
Yeah, I think I fit in. I
you
think that
think you fit in more because you were
that's what
blonde?
I wanted. I didn't want to stand out when I was younger because I
Mm,
was I was actually thinking about it. I'm not going to my 20-year high school reunion that's next year. I don't
no?
know why I would go. I don't know why I would
I
go.
know, I'm just joking.
Right? Like maybe I'll change my mind, but right now, no. But I'm not going to go to my 20-year high school reunion and people saying, oh, Steph the redhead, because I didn't have red hair in high school.
Right.
I think people are going to be like, wait, you own a company for redheads? Didn't you have blonde hair in high? I think people are going to be so confused.
Yeah, I know, but everyone, like, knows, though, like,
I don't think
that
a
you
lot of
were
people knew I was a natural redhead.
you had freckles. You have freckles.
Yeah, I
You're
just don't think that at that age people
like,
put
put
two and
2 and
two
2 and
together. But
yeah.
yeah, I remember.
So you do think that you blended in better because of your blonde hair?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I don't think I stood out. I mean, I think freckles, yeah, maybe that made me stand out,
Because
but
you were, like, really blonde.
I was really blonde in high school. But
Yeah.
like Holy Ghost Days, which was the school we went to from preschool to 8th grade, I looked back at photos. I started getting really blonde in like 8th grade. So I was probably doing full set of highlights, but mom was okay with me 4th grade to about 7th grade. I was just getting like partial highlights here and
Okay,
there. They didn't
okay.
even look that good. They were just like strips. I don't even know. They weren't even like blended properly. It was a mess. And then I was getting horrible haircuts. I think that that's what messed me up were the haircuts.
Mess you up.
I mean, I think that scarred me. I think people that made me stand out, that pixie haircut. That I was supposed to go for a trim and then they cut above my ears. Remember how
Yeah, I
I wore a
remember.
headband to school the next day and my friend Michelle still
Oh
makes
my
fun
god,
of
stop, I'm
me.
gonna cry.
But I think that made me stand out because here I am like the girl with the shortest hair above her ears. But I
Yeah.
didn't want to stand out. So I think if you go red, I can see how all of a sudden you start getting attention, maybe start getting approached more, just maybe start getting, yeah, just more attention. And then I think, the what society perceives as redheads might be the whole like guys fantasize. That whole thing is
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
But so you might get approached by older men, like this one person says in the comment section. But I think, red hair is bold, it is daring. So it also brings along confidence and assertiveness, I read, which Adrian, you are confident and assertive. So you
I thought that
fit,
people just felt like that because that's just my personality, but I guess it does get connected to my red hair too.
but I couldn't imagine you with any other color
No,
with your
me either. With
personality.
Halloween coming up, I have thought about, like, if I ever went to a Halloween party, like, actually doing a blonde or brunette wig. Like, I've thought
Wig.
about it. With Halloween coming up, I thought about it, but then end up always just doing, like, a redhead costume because it's so
Yeah.
much more easy, to
Yeah.
just, like, do something easy. But I yeah, I think, oh, there is so many, like, social pressures that come with being a redhead. And also, I think that people who dye their hair feel the pressures differently because they chose it than the
Mm.
people who, like, didn't choose it. I think that there's something about that choice
So
that's
what do you mean by
empowering.
social pressures?
I think that when you're a natural redhead, you feel a pressure to kind of conform to being
Mm.
fiery or being the, like, stereotypical redhead or
Yeah, like,
loving
I'm
to be the
not.
center of attention. I don't like being the center of attention, or I think a lot of people feel that pressure. And then when they dye their hair red, I think a lot of people are like, I chose this. So, like,
Mhm.
yeah, like, it's awesome. And I think that's great. And I think that, when we talk about, like, the Redhead Club, when we talk about our brand ambassador program, like, that's why we're so open to loving the by choice redheads, because there is something so
Yeah.
confident about that. Because when you
Yeah.
choose something and you're like, I'm paying to have your hair color. It's so different than when you don't get to choose it and then you feel like a lot of pressure around society. Like, this girl right here, like, she feels pressure on, like, different hair colors she has, or, like,
Mhm.
she feels better. It seems like she feels better as a blonde than she does as a redhead. So, as much as I'm always saying you have to be yourself and you have to be proud of yourself, I mean, this particular person really doesn't like to feel like
The
that
attention.
everyone wants to talk to her, or yeah,
Yeah.
like, maybe so that it's a better life for her. I mean, I could understand that,
Mhm.
but I think
I'm
that
so
all the society stuff really aggravates me, to be honest with you, because I'm like people should
yeah.
just have their red
And
hair and just be
everyone's
left
so
alone.
different. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so extroverted that maybe I wouldn't be as extroverted if I didn't have red hair. I don't know. Or maybe it's just my personality.
that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Because I have so much confidence now at my age, but when I was younger, I lacked confidence, I think. I think as I got older, I started gaining just confidence along every stage of my life, but I'm like the most extroverted that I've ever was. Maybe that comes with age, being more comfortable to like start conversations with strangers or just know how to have a conversation.
Well, you're gonna think this is crazy, but ever since we've been doing TikTok lives every day at 12 p.m., our team member Stephanie and I since June, I feel
Yeah.
like it's made me more extroverted.
Mm.
Like I'm enjoying these podcasts more. I feel like it's gotten me out of my bubble of
Yeah, out
now
of your
wanting to
comfort zone.
socialize. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I just like I think that there's certain things in life that you have to embrace. Like I had to embrace the TikTok lives talking for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's all about being a redhead. And I don't know why. It's just like I guess I made a conscious effort to want to be extroverted for the audience who has to tune in and like watch. But yeah, it's funny how like it changes in life. It really does change. It really does change. And I don't know if a lot of other natural redheads feel like this, but I forget that I have red hair. Like I
Oh,
know that we own a company
1000%. It's so funny
I
you
know we
mentioned that.
own a company called How to Be a Redhead. I know it's our life. I know that you and I both have red hair. I know that I have it. When I look in the mirror, I'm not like, "Wow, look at that red hair." I forget
Yes.
about it. I forget about it. And then when someone's like, "Oh, you have beautiful red hair," or I forget. I'm telling you, half of the week I forget that I'm a redhead.
I'm kind of the same. Yeah, most of the time I forget I have red hair.
Yeah. It's so funny.
I know, but
So,
yeah, that's so funny because I don't look in the mirror and I'm like, "Ooh, red hair." I mean, I will say after yesterday, after washing my hair with Finely Glossy, I was like, "Oh, my hair is really shiny." So there's times
mhm,
like that, after trying like washing my hair that I'll do that. But I think we can all agree, red hair is timeless, high maintenance or not, and
mhm.
always draws attention. So own it with confidence.
Want to help us spread the news about the How to Be a Redhead brand in this podcast? Give us a 5-star review and tell your friends, redheads, and everyone else to subscribe. You can listen to this podcast directly on howtobearedhead.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to look at the podcast notes with links mentioned and so much more. We're so excited for this new series where it's just Stephanie and I talking about all of these redhead topics. So until next time, redheads, rock it.
Rock it.